And it's a time we celebrate God's love for us, unconditional love for us. When God didn't consult us, human beings, before He created us, out of love He created us. And then, human nature being what it is, we did what we did. We wanted to be like God. Then we damaged that relationship between us and God. But God being God, He still, found it necessary to repair that relationship. And therefore He took steps, I think we shall be hearing our second reading actually today, talking about the fact that God has spoken to us in so many ways, communicated with humanity from the beginning in so many ways. But that in our time, He has spoken to us through His own Son, by giving us His own Son. And that is what the gospel reading is talking about today. The beginning was the Word was God, the Word was God, the Word blah blah blah, and then the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. So it is part of this communication that God has, from the call of Abraham up to, when the ground, through the prophets, kings, whatever. And now that fullness of time came, and therefore God took our human nature. I think it's good news, And of course, yesterday during the midnight masses, we read about how how the message was related. The first people to hear the message of the birth of the Savior are shepherds, outcasts, the poorest of the poor. They were out there in the cold. So you can see clearly the message, and the Christ Himself, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Yet He was born where He was born. And so clearly He came for the marginalized. Clearly He came for those on the periphery of society. Clearly He came to give dignity to those who feel that their dignity has been taken away by whatever means, and therefore. And so it is celebrating God's unconditional love for us, especially we who are weak, who are sinners. And therefore, wherever the weak are, since He came for them, that is where He established the church to continue this ministry. So wherever the marginalized are, wherever the weak are, wherever the poor are, that is where the church exists. And that is why we're here. We have our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated here. They are not the worst. I've always told them, each time I come out, I will give the message to them. There are lots of us working on the streets who should be in. And there are some of them who are in here who should work in the streets. This is the irony of life. And therefore, it is for us to identify with them in their situation. And this is why we do what we are doing today. Because Jesus came identify with those, the marginalized. And we have simply come to do that, to tell them even where they are. This is correctional home. We all make mistakes, and then when we make mistakes, there are proceedings to correct us, to bring us back on the road. And that is what the correctional institutions are all about.
Today is our Christmas celebration, and normally the Archbishop comes here to visit the inmates. He always comes with food and other items to identify with the inmates. And so we are converged here to welcome him and to thank God for the gift of life and for the gift of His only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, who took flesh in order to come and save us. That is why we come in a joyful celebration to identify ourselves with the inmates, whom most of them are innocent, though they are here. And so when they see us, they rejoice in this period of joy.
As a knight, Papa Knight of Sebulumba, is obligated on us to escort the bishop to ensure that we participate in his missions and his duties, his apostolate throughout the diocese. So today, I'm here with other knights who are here, Knights of St. John, Knights of Sebulumba, and Papa Knights to accompany our chief priest. He is our bishop. He cannot do this work alone. So ours is to accompany him in the mission, so that he will have the courage to continue, knowing that he's not doing this work alone. We are doing it together with him. That's why I'm here.
have just brought 2,000 food. They are parts of food for the Kaduna Public Prison. And this one you see in the top there is going to Bosta. We have 436 inmates there. And then we are going to go to Kujama 2. We have 100 inmates. All in all, the Archbishop has graciously provided for 2,500 prisoners today in the diocese of Ndagoso.